are you? It's Maddie once again. I wanted to come in here to talk about something that's a little different than my last few videos. It's different, but I definitely feel like it's important. I know there are people out here that are doing research on this topic because when I was thinking about entering this profession, it is something that I went on YouTube to kind of research and obviously Google and talk to people or whatnot. But I feel like this video would be beneficial to some people looking to get into the profession that I'm currently in. This is Avery. I know some of y'all met her in my last video. Anyways, so I am currently a school counselor. Specifically, I do work in a high school. So I've worked in high schools, I want to say maybe about 8 years or so, and then I did 2 years of middle school. So what I really want to talk about are the pros and the cons of becoming a school counselor. Later in another video, I'll talk about requirements, by the state, other states' requirements. I'll talk about what kind of education you need, etc. But right now, I just really want to talk about the pros and the cons for those people that are thinking about entering the field, but are not really sure and want some advice from someone that's already doing it. So, I don't know if I should start with the pros or the cons, but let me just start with the pros because I do want you to get hyped up about this wonderful and beautiful profession. So let me start with, you're definitely going to make a difference in this world. 1,000%. You go to sleep knowing that each and every day you've made a difference in a student's life. It could be by the smallest conversation that you have with that student, or it could be seeing them at graduation. Whatever it is, that in someone's life you are making a complete difference. I have so many students that I still hear from. Sometimes they send me a message on Facebook or, Instagram or whatnot, and they really thank me for just the support that I showed them, the relationship that we had. You really make a difference. I can't say it enough. I think one day when I'm older, and even now, I could look back and say that I had a purpose on this earth. I really left my footprint on this earth. I really did, and it's through my students, whether they are off in Princeton or they are, working in a trade or being a parent or whatnot, right? I really do see the fruits of my labors in this profession. A second pro is you're guiding these kids through this world, right? We don't use the term guidance counselor anymore, but you really are showing these kids in the future, this is really how you should maneuver through this society, through this world, right? You're helping them become better communicators. You are helping them discover who they are, right, as a person. You are helping them be wise when making decisions, right? Whether it be boyfriends, girlfriends, just friendships, right? The things they say to their teachers. You are really influencing and helping them discover the kind of person that they want to be. We definitely have that impact on some students, and then some we don't, but that some kids, they carry these things with them. They'll remember some of the things that you've taught them, and they'll apply it to their lives as adults. Another is sometimes you're just their only support system, right? Sometimes students come to school, their teachers are their support system, their counselors, their coaches, right? Unfortunately, some students go home and they don't have that. And so when they come to you, especially if you're a counselor that is very genuine and you love your students and you're very real with your students, they really see you as that support system that they need. They will confide in you. They will ask you for your advice on things that they probably wouldn't ask any other adult. They really look to you, right? Because they feel that like genuine love and concern and care that you have for them. And so that's probably one of the biggest pros about being a school counselor is you could be someone's entire support system. And sometimes it can weigh on you, but the benefits, you knowing that they are going to really benefit from what you have to say and your wisdom, it really makes all the difference in the world, and it's so worth it. Another benefit is that you really see the fruits of your labors, right? So you start off with that maybe freshman, sophomore year. It really depends when you come in, right? What caseload you have. But when you start with them, you see how they've grown throughout the year. When you see them graduate, you see that change, right? From freshman year through the end of high school. You really see them grow. And I think sometimes in other professions, you go to work each day and you don't see like the outcome, right? And I don't want to like put any other professions out there, on blast or nothing. But sometimes people go to work every day and they really don't see what their hard work has done. As a school counselor, you see it. You see it every day. You see it every time a student makes a decision, every time their grades get better, every time they become better communicators. Like, you see the impact that you've made. Another pro of being a school counselor is you really are creating everlasting memories. From going on field trips to doing career assessments to the conversations that you will have in your office, right? The listening to the gossip, to fixing like friendships, going to see them at their games, or like you are creating memories not only for yourself, but you're creating memories for your students that they will forever remember. Again, with your support and your love and the experiences that you bring to the table, these are memories that they will forever carry. I have students now that are in their 30s that will sometimes message me and say, "Man, Ms. Francine, I remember when you helped me do this and you helped me do that." Or, "Remember when we did this?" That's priceless. That's definitely priceless. Let's see. Now, let's talk about some of the cons. I probably forgot more. There's a lot more pros, I'm sure. But I'm going to talk about the cons. There aren't many, but there are some for me. Again, and this is not even at the school that I'm currently in, because I love the school that I'm at right now. But this is just in general. And I do want to be honest and transparent for those people that are looking to become school counselors. So one of the cons is sometimes people don't know what you do. I think that, and it really depends on what school you're at, but sometimes you have different responsibilities, different tasks. But I think sometimes we're running around so much, we're putting out like daily fires, right? Like a student's upset, we get called to meet with that student. A parent's coming to get their kid's transcript, we're like doing that, right? Let's say you have to go run a group, you do that. You have to go lead a meeting, you're running to do that. And so it's like, sometimes it could look like we're running around like a chicken with our heads cut off. And yes, as a school counselor, sometimes you're putting out fires and you're doing all these little things. And sometimes in that, people don't really know what you do, right? And so for teachers, for example, they teach. You know what subject they teach. You may not know their curriculum, but you know what they do. You know what a principal does, right? They are pretty much running the school, making sure things run smoothly, right? So counselors, we do so much that really sometimes people are really confused as to what we do. And in turn, that goes to my second con. Sometimes counselors aren't appreciated. We make a huge difference, and sometimes adults in the building may not appreciate counselors as much, but the kids do. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. As long as the kids are appreciating what you do for them and your administration sees the work that you're doing, that's really, really, really what matters. Another con, and I don't know if it's a con, but it's the reality of the job. You will hear some really difficult stories. You will hear some very, very sad stories, things that you will never experience in your lifetime. Unfortunately, sometimes a 14-year-old has. And that's difficult. But there is balance. And so as you go on through the years, you know how to really create that balance in your life where you don't necessarily always take these things home. But that is one of the harder parts of this job, is really listening to some of these really, really heartbreaking stories. And some could be abuse, right? Some could be neglect, or them not feeling loved, right? Not feeling supported at home. That stuff is really heartbreaking, because you love these kids and you wish that you can, when they go home, that they can feel that same love that they do at school, that you could feel that at home. And sometimes that's not the case. And sometimes they do have a great household, but they've had some really sad experiences, sometimes some very traumatic experiences. So that is something that, if you're going into this profession, you have to be aware that this is a part of the job. And if it's something that you can't handle or can be too stressful for you, it may not be the profession for you. Oh, my last one that I could think of, because like I said, the cons are not many to this job, especially when you love what you do. But one of the other cons is that sometimes roles and responsibilities could get very blurred. A lot of times, and I'm not experiencing this right now, sometimes administrators or teachers, they will try to assign you to things that are not in your roles and responsibilities. So again, for those that are deciding or debating on whether they should go into this profession or not, I would highly suggest that you go onto the American School Counselor Association. On there, you will see what the roles and responsibilities of a counselor is. You know, thank God I am at a school where it is very clear what our roles and responsibilities are. Our admin is very protective of what we do, and they make sure that no one is trying to give us all these other tasks and that have nothing to do with what we do, right? In this profession, you earn a master's degree, and so you have a skill set, and it's a very important one. And so sometimes people, because you're going around and you're doing all these things, you're creating schedules, and you're doing all these other things, people could feel like they could just throw more and more on your plate. And so that is a con. But as you go on in your career, you really learn how to create those boundaries. You learn how to advocate for yourself. But I think even with all those cons, this is an amazing, amazing profession. I think that if you have the heart to do it, you really care about kids, you really want to make an impact, this is the profession for you. You have to be genuine. Kids can smell phony from a mile away. If you are not sincere and genuine and you are not yourself, kids will see that and they will not connect with you. You have to be yourself in this profession. Every day that you walk in, you have to be you. Whether you're mean, right? Kids will respect that, right? As long as you have their best intentions at heart, they will see that, right? I'm that very nice counselor. I can't lie. Sometimes I'm too nice. But kids see that and they appreciate it and they love it. And so if you are a person that cares, wants to get back, cares about mental health, career exploration, social and emotional learning, academics, right? This is the profession for you. Don't doubt yourself. Do it. And make a difference in this world. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. There's more great content coming soon.